Hi and welcome back to your next session with Channel Engineer. Okay, well then today we're going to be looking at these things. I don't mean the actual Kindle itself, I mean the broken screen. Okay, and you know, devices nowadays, if we've got screens there, we've got our computer screen over here, we've got mobile phone screens, okay, screens galore, okay, and it's slowly becoming the single point of failure in lots of electronic devices, okay, especially mobile devices. Screens take a really big hammering and they do break very easily nowadays. So I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to change a screen, okay. Because you break your screen doesn't mean that your device is consigned to the dustbin. Okay, you can repair it, and it's very easy to repair. Believe it or not, the hardest thing that you'll find is actually trying to get to the screen. Okay, trying to open up this device. Okay, and nowadays lots of them, they don't have screws or anything like that holding the cases together. It's all clips, and all that you really need is either some fingers to prise the case open, or just a flat top screwdriver. And we'll go through changing the screen, and all screens nowadays are pretty much a standard. Yeah, I've got my replacement screen here, just to go inside it. Okay, they're all on these tags here. It's just a thin film cable. Okay, got two different types. Either it's got the a plug on the back that you clip into a socket on the board, or it's a simple push fit. Okay, and yeah, this is it. This is a e-ink screen for the Kindle. It's you know, you can see that it's wafer thin. Okay, so it's very easy to damage. So let's crack this open, and we'll see how easy it is to do. Okay, and once you do it once, okay, and well, not only are we actually going to be cracking this open, replacing the screen, okay, you do learn a lot of skills by opening up devices and taking a look at the electronics inside, and how it's all mounted together. So you learn about how circuit boards are mounted in cases, you learn how to fit together, you learn about different batteries in mobile devices, the different types of fixings that they use, couple of buttons, how the buttons work on these things. So you know, don't be afraid of pulling something apart. If it's damaged, it's damaged, okay? Have a go at repairing it. If it's unrepairable, it's still not a lost cause, because you can salvage components from them. And getting replacement screens, it's a doddle, okay? You've got places that actually manufacture these screens, so you can buy them brand new, or you can actually go on eBay, find another damaged Kindle, okay, or phone or something that the battery's knackered out on, you know, circuit board's damaged, keys don't work, they're selling it off cheap. Well, buy it, salvage it, okay? You might just want the screen's perfect, but the thing doesn't work. Well, buy just for the screen. You can get them dirt cheap. Strip the screen out, put it into your damaged screen, and hey presto, you have a new one for, I don't know, a tenth of the price of buying a brand new. And not only that, you don't have to bother transferring all your files, all your data, all that sort of stuff over. So let's get down and do it. Alright, here we are. Okay, so flip it over. Okay, the seam is running around the outside edge, there's no screws, so it just unclips. Screwdriver, little flathead, and we can just tease this one open, find where the clips are. There's one, and you can slowly run it down and lever it out. Okay, once it's open, it's all clipped. Okay, so you can see it here. Okay, it's slowly opening up. Once it's open, you can normally, if it's a clipped one, just run your finger around and it will unclip, like so. You can hear this. Okay, just working my fingers around the outside edge. Okay, it's slowly opening up. Okay, don't put too much force because the clips can break. Okay, and here we have it. It's going all the way down, and pop, off it comes. Simple as that. Okay, these are just clipped in, just little tabs on the side here. Okay, and they just all clip in, and here we have it. So, what have we got? Well, that's a screen connector where it plugs into the board. We've got a battery, circuitry in there, a few switches, yeah, whatever. Okay, and everything's held in place by crossheads, 1,000,001 crossheads. Okay, and having a video camera is really handy for actually reassembling. Okay, so have a look down here. It looks like that we've got a connector. A few screws around the outside edge. No, I've never took one of these apart, so it's going to be interesting to see how this comes apart. So, start screwing. Yeah, you start with the top down. You might want a pair of tweezers just to help you out with your screws, and you want to save your screws. So, use the top of the case to actually store everything in. And yep, let's take off this plastic top first. Actually, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Let's get the battery out first. Power down the device, okay, before we start messing about. So, battery out first, actually. Last thing I want to do is drop screws in here, short things out, and end up with a non-working component. Non-working Kindle. So 2 screws out from there, and then hopefully, I can't see any other screws holding this in, the battery should come out. Yeah, there we have it, battery out. So a few little washers here, so we'll keep hold of those. And you can see the actual screen is behind a reinforced backing. Looks like a metal backing of some sort, so we're really going to have to strip this back completely. And this is going to be fun. That. Let's go through it a little bit at a time, I suppose. I imagine underneath here, this is where memory is, or it could be underneath here on the board, we don't know, but we'll soon find out. This is all screwed, same size screws by the looks of things for everything, which is good. Okay. Looks like it's all actually fixed down there. Scroll this slowly. No, okay, we've got to take out this cable here. What's underneath this? Now this looks like, okay, this is all attached to the circuit board, so I'm not going to play about with that too much. It goes back to there so that little cable can come out. Usually when you do screens, they're not as convoluted as this. Normally it's a case of just single circuit panel, you take it out and hey presto, you can just whack, unplug and plug in your new screen. But this one really needs a good stripping back. That's it. There we go. Little black ones for the circuit board. Yeah, everything seems to fly underneath, so I'm going to have to take out some of these. So this will be for our screen, definitely. And that looks like the one for the keyboard on either side. No, this one's for the keyboard by the looks of things. I'm not too sure what these are. Maybe they all are. Front interfaces possibly for keyboard. Maybe the arrow controllers. You might have another circuit board underneath there. Looks like there is, because I can see something here. No, that'll be. Aha! Don't know if you can see this. The screen actually, in fact, goes up this way. Okay, that's the front, that's the back. Okay, it's the same connector here. These resistors here are actually here. They actually got a cutout in this back board, in this circuit board, to try and get the profile a lot longer. It's actually sandwiched on, so everything does have to come out. I'm a little bit worried about getting these out there. Hopefully I can just lever them out and leave the mechanism in. It's going to take me a bit of time, so I'm going to switch off for now, and I'll be back when. Alright, I'm back again. Everything's all unscrewed. Also disconnected the ribbons from here. These are little clip upright ones, so you just have to, you can see that, these ones just lift up and lift down, so you lift up the plastic cap on these, and again down here, okay, and you lift out, pull out the thin film cabling, and hopefully this will just lift up, and there we go, it slides out. What do we have underneath? Okay, so we've got some more backing there. This is all still screwed in place, so we've got some screws down the side here. Got some screws down the side here as well before we can get this out. Okay, so I imagine this is what protects the back of the screen. And down here is where we have our keyboard. So let's strip all that back. Okay, again, more work with your crosshead. This thing's full of tons of screws. Right, that's all unscrewed. Down either side. Looks over here, looks like this is where our Wi-Fi antenna just there. That just folds back and out of the way. And let's see what we've got here. Underneath, a little screwdriver underneath. Let's see if we can lift this up. It's slowly coming up, there we go. Oh, everything's attached there. Yeah. And these switches, the switch comes out along with this backboard, and here we are. Ooh, you can see there this crack runs right across the back of the screen. And it doesn't look like anything's actually holding this in place. So, let's see what happens. How do we get this out? This is actually just a push fit. By the looks of things, yep. Okay. A bit of care taken, getting this out. Okay, try not to bend the bezel back too much. Okay, see I've got these switches here on the side, so that's a little bit fragile in that area. To me, it looks like, yeah, they just used some double-sided tape to actually tape this down. As you can see, e-ink screens don't need any power. Okay, fully detached, and you've still got the picture on here. Okay, proof, concept. Okay, it's still quite tacky on here, so we're going to use the sticky that's still down. Replacement screen. Peel off the protective cover. And let's wipe that one on. Start from the top down. Okay. line it up, and it should fall into place. There we have it, it's all in. There's a little bit of pressure. And there we have it, we have our screen, and there's our keypad, okay. Just little rubber keypad. Make sure that lines up still. Okay, all done. Now then, we just have to put the thing back together. So, first things first, this goes back on, okay, and as you can see we've got our keypad down here, just membrane keys, okay, little membrane keypad, just metallic contacts there, nothing particularly special about that. Okay, page turning keys, yeah. All of this goes back on, so bottom first, so that switchy will go back in, and the volume control and what have you all lines up. Click down, there we have it, that's the bottom in. And fold this back down on top and start re-screwing the screws down the side. Yeah, all these two silver ones for the Wi-Fi antenna back here. This is the Wi-Fi model, not the one with 3G. Not the, is it 3G? No, it's not. I'm bottom on about GPS. So more that sort of wireless crud. Yeah, those two back in, so that's in place. Try not to over tighten on these ones, especially around the area where you've got your circuitry. Okay. And down the side here, these are the small black ones. There's a couple down each side, so they go in as well. So there. Goes back here. Okay, so all this back plate does is just hold the screen in place and the keyboard in place, because that's the thing that takes the most hammering. So these will go back on, like so. That's it, so that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Got the two that I took out originally from the top, okay, that was actually holding the back. That's all these silver ones. So they might as well go back in. Just to cut out here, I imagine this was for the extra wireless antenna up here, okay, you can see you've got a cut groove in here. Okay, which goes off to another screw hole here, which isn't actually being used for anything, so I imagine that's where the other antenna was. So that's all screwed back in. Switches, yeah, still works down here. Okay, there's our on off, spring loaded, so does the job. Next up, this little circuit board, so careful that you actually raise these little circuit tabs here, don't get them trapped. Okay, because they actually plug into the connectors just here and over here, just hidden by my hand, and that one just there. Okay, so make sure that you don't trap these underneath the board. Same with the screen one. Okay, we just replaced that, so we don't want to damage that again. So what you want to do is put this back at an angle, so lift it up, line it up, and drop it in place. Can't do it that way, being an idiot. So we've got all these, all our socket connectors. These will have to go underneath this switch contact down here. So we're going to have to do this at an angle, like that. Keep your finger on the back. Okay, so we can lift out our little cables here. Right, that's all back in place. Everything lines up at the bottom. Yeah, lovely. Before we start plugging in the cables, screw the board in place first. So, 1,000,001 screw job. Right, here we go. Okay, so all of the ones at the top were the silvered screws. Oops. So it's really good to have one of these. You can get hold of these jeweller's ones, but the magnetic versions, and they make life a hell of a lot easier when you're putting things back together and taking screws out. Just keep them attached to your screwdriver bit. So that's all slowly going back in. Okay. You don't know, these are all the black ones down here. Yeah, right. Let's start clipping the cables back in. This top one can go in now. This is the speaker cable back up here, so make sure that you wrap it back around the little turrets here. And back into place. It's back in. These little ones here, they can be slotted back in now, so they're all out of the way for when we come in to reassemble our base, screwing the bottom in. And with these, it can be tricky trying to get these back in because you have to bend them back slightly and slide them under the contacts like that. You might want to use your tweezers just to push them back slightly so they're seated nice and snugly. Like that, and we can clip the top back down like so. So the top just folds back down on top of this, and we'll push down, and the same on this side. So cable back, lift up the flap, and gently slide the cable back in like so. Give it a little tap in. Make sure it's all flat and nice and snug in there. The worst thing about this sort of replacing this sort of screen is that there's so much to take apart. You definitely don't want to have to reassemble it or disassemble it all over again just to test. That one's back in. Okay, so we can start screwing in this bottom area. And these are all these little tiny pain in the arse black screws. That's where a pair of tweezers might come in handy. Okay, what I suggest you do, you start from left or right and you work your way across the board. That way you don't miss out any. If you try and work your way down, okay, none of these holes are actually in a line, so you can easily miss out screwing something back in. That's the worst thing that you want to do. Make sure that you do get all the screws back, especially on if it's a Kindle where you've got a keypad. Okay, it's going to be taking a lot of hammering when you're backing away on the keys or when you're travelling. The last thing that you want is something loose. Okay, because that you may start shifting your keypad about or something like that, and you'll end up doing more damage than what you actually started with. Okay, and this one doesn't want to go in the hole. There it goes, back into its hole. Next one. Actually, that's interesting. Looks like there should have been a shield around this section of the board. You can see the you got the traces here for placing the shield, just like one of these. There's no actual shield on here. It's interesting. Maybe they thought it wasn't necessary and decided to cut the costs, reduce their costs, and not putting in one shield. It's only a couple of pence, but it does all add up, especially when you're producing millions of them. You know, reduce your component value by a penny, you can save yourself 1,000,000 pennies. That's not to be sniffed at. Maybe not £1,000,000, but you know, every little helps, especially when you're mass producing. Okay, a penny does save you a hell of a lot of money. Last of these little black fiddly ones, hoorah, goes into that little hole there. Not there, where isn't the hole? Right there. Okay, so that's all those things screwed in. Next, I need to get this little connector in here. Not too sure what this is. Looks like it's got a slot on the side there, on the side here, going to this connector here, so you don't actually have to put this one in. What it actually looks like is it was used for programming the actual microcontrollers and whatever. It's probably it's a 2-wire connection. Okay, so it looks like it could be a I don't know, small little serial interface or something for your the program in this device. So they're all assembled, and then the code is actually uploaded onto these after assembly, not post assembly, not pre-assembly. These are programmed probably for I don't know, you could even do a firmware update. You might even be able to hack this out actually. Put your own OS or something on here, or your own controller. Who knows? Take a look at that, see what that's all about. Very interesting. Oh, also got a SIM card slot over here. Yeah. Couple of terminals for a SD card. It's even got the screen on there, so it looks like another further modification, possibly for future or past Kindles, I don't know. Maybe from their prototyping phase, where they actually used a memory card instead of a solid state memory. Anyways, last thing to do, screen connector clips over like that. So that's all that screen connector is. Fold that over, leaving the battery to go on. I said there's 2 of these little metal washers going over the top of these stands. Battery goes on, contacts face down. And there is only one way you can actually put this in. You can't put it in that way, you have to slide it in that way. So you don't need to hit anything with a hammer, nothing particularly groundbreaking. Batteries all looks like they were custom made for the Kindle. So if your battery does go, you'll have to get a proper one. An off-the-shelf generic one just isn't going to cut it. So, left one out. Yeah, left this one out. The actual control for the keyboard. So let's slot that one in, just like these little ones. It's exactly the same process. Slide it in under and clip down the top. Let's give it a test before we put the back on. Oh, look at that! It's coming up. There we have it. One repaired Kindle, and it's booting up. So, you can tell that the screen's all okay. continue putting it back on. The back should just clip back on, so do it around this area first. Let's slot it on with these back clips first. And hey presto, all back in place. And we have a working Kindle, Amazon Kindle. Okay, lovely, done. Looks like we might be in a bit of trouble here. I have to download all my books back onto this because it looks like by removing the battery, I've actually blanked it. It's gone back to the. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, by disconnecting the battery, it takes a little bit of time just to wake up. There we have it. All back to normal. Clicking the old button, let's check. Yep, there we go. All working. Lovely. Job's a good one. And off it goes. So, it's a little bit of a long job trying to put this one back together, but we managed it in the end. And we've now got a working Kindle, and it's exactly the same thing for other devices like your mobiles, MP3 players. Okay, that one's a little bit more complicated, but it's an interesting one. And yeah, see you next time.